There is a strange thing about the meditations that most quote collections quietly hide. Almost none of it is written in the first person. It is written in the second. Do not do this. Take care that thou. Stop talking about. Marcus Aurelius is not explaining Stoicism to anyone. He is giving orders to himself, in writing, at night. Which means the book is also a record of what he kept getting wrong, because you do not write an instruction down twice unless it failed the first time. 8 of those instructions, in George Long's public domain translation, with the passage on screen every time so you can check me. And it helps to know he never meant you to see any of this. There is no title, no preface, no argument, no reader addressed. The book we have is a private notebook that survived by accident. That is why it repeats itself, and that repetition is the most useful thing in it. 1. Stop being surprised by people. When thou art offended with any man's shameless conduct, immediately ask thyself, is it possible, then, that shameless men should not be in the world? It is not possible. Do not, then, require what is impossible. This is not tolerance, and it is not forgiveness. It is arithmetic. Shameless people exist in every population. Therefore, some of them will be in your day. Therefore, their existence is not news. What he is attacking is the surprise, not the person. And surprise is the expensive part. The behavior costs you a minute. Being astonished by it can cost the afternoon. 2. Take the help. Be not ashamed to be helped, for it is thy business to do thy duty like a soldier in the assault on a town. How then, if being lame, thou canst not mount up on the battlements alone, but with the help of another it is possible? The most powerful man in the world had to write this down. Sit with that for a second. And look at the argument he uses on himself, because it is not about self-compassion. It is about the mission. The wall still has to be taken. If your leg will not carry you up it alone, and another man's shoulder will, then refusing the shoulder is not strength. It is putting your pride ahead of the job. 3. 2 questions and nothing else. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. 18 words, and it may be the whole of practical ethics. Everything you do passes one gate. Everything you say passes the other. Notice what is missing. No calculation of consequences, no weighing of who will find out, no exception for pressure or hurry. And notice that he needed to write it down, which tells you he had said something untrue recently enough to matter. 4. You are being dyed by what you think about. Such as are thy habitual thoughts, such also will be the character of thy mind. For the soul is dyed by the thoughts. The metaphor is chosen with care. Dyeing is slow. It happens by soaking rather than by decision, and it is very hard to reverse. He is not talking about one bad thought. He says habitual thoughts, the ones you return to without noticing you have returned. Those are the bath the cloth sits in, and the color it comes out is not a mood. He calls it the character of thy mind. Now, 1 book later, he uses that same word again about something much closer to home. This is the kind of thing you only see if you read the book instead of the quotes. Take care that thou art not dyed with this dye. He is no longer talking about thoughts in general. He is talking about his job. 5. Do not let the job dye you. Take care that thou art not made into a Caesar, that thou art not dyed with this dye, for such things happen. Keep thyself then simple, good, pure, serious, free from affectation, a friend of justice. Made into a Caesar, he is the Caesar, and he is warning himself against becoming one, which only makes sense if he means the role rather than the title. And in the same passage he names the man he means to copy instead. Do everything as a disciple of Antoninus, he writes, meaning his adoptive father, and then lists what he means by it. Constancy, evenness, a disregard of empty fame. The antidote is deliberately unimpressive, simple, good, pure, serious, free from affectation. Nothing there that an empire would find useful. 6. Stop describing it. No longer talk at all about the kind of man that a good man ought to be, but be such. Written by a man with an excellent philosophical education, aimed squarely at the pleasure that education gives you. Discussing virtue feels like practicing it. It uses the same vocabulary, it produces the same warmth, and it costs nothing. He is cutting off his own favorite escape route. And there is an uncomfortable joke in it, which he surely saw. He is writing this down instead of doing it. 7. You keep choosing tomorrow. Attend to the matter which is before thee, whether it is an opinion or an act or a word. Thou sufferest this justly, for thou choosest rather to become good tomorrow than to be good today. This is the harshest line he ever wrote about himself, and the word doing the work is choosest. Not fail, not struggle. Choose. He is telling himself that the postponement is a decision, made daily, in favor of a version of himself that is scheduled rather than present. And thou sufferest this justly means he thinks the frustration is earned, not punishment, just the accurate result of the choice. 8. Death hangs over thee. Do not act as if thou wert going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over thee. While thou livest, while it is in thy power, be good. 3 sentences, and notice where they land. Not on urgency, not on legacy, not on making the most of your time. The whole weight of mortality is spent to purchase one instruction, and it is the plainest one available. Be good. And the qualifier is the part people skip, while it is in thy power. He is saying the window in which you get to choose your own character is open now, and will not always be. 8 instructions from a private notebook that was never meant to leave the tent. Stop being surprised. Take the help. 2 questions. Watch the die. Do not become the office. Stop describing it. Stop choosing tomorrow. Be good while you can. What makes them worth reading is not that they are wise. Plenty of ancient advice is wise. It is that they are corrections, written by someone who kept needing them, which is the only honest relationship anyone has with a rule. Every passage is in the description with its book and section number, so you can read them where they sit. If this was worth your quiet, stay a while. There is one idea here every day.